if you're not standing with them, then you're kind of, in their eyes, not allowed the right to protest. And I kind of think...
I'm talking about issues that cannot be denied. You can't deny the information.
100%. But see if you listen to what the Kate woman said that I invited up to the stage and Peter Hayden said, why are you here? She agreed with everything I said. Apart from but her only difference, she thought I was a racist, and she thought the only people that abuse children are white males, right?
Yep.
And like, okay, right, you're not going to talk any sense to you. So what she's saying is, everything else you're saying, I've got the same concerns, but I'm not going to let you protest about that. I'm going to counter protest because you shouldn't be protesting. And it's like they're the only people out. So if you decided to put a pink hair on and maybe address Alex and have a, go out and say that and stand on their side of the road, they would accept you. But they've perceived you as something you're not. So that's it. You're just putting that racist folks away up here somewhere.
That's what's scary. That's what's scaring me, Craig. See what's scaring me now is I'm hearing a lot of this, and I've been hearing a lot of it ever since a week ago. That it seems to be now the white person that lives in the UK, males especially, are the threat. This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it too much. I've heard it for...
Listen, Alex, Alex knows more about this than anybody else I know, 100%. Right? We have got plenty of people here who are bad to children. We've got too many, because one is too many. So we need to deal with them, right? What we certainly don't need is, see if you could argue that we've got a skill shortage of neurosurgeons and we have zero in Britain and we need to bring in foreign ones because we have a skill shortage. That's kind of a fair point. If it's true, I'll guarantee you something we've not got a skill shortage on, and that's bad men that are bad to women and children, right? Yeah. So, see, shite, I'm sick hearing it, right? Yep. And it's all about, honest to God, is that, do you think people that me or anybody in this panel or anybody that's out in these streets do not have the same disgust when somebody who's white abuses a child? Do you think they only get upset when it's migrants? The only difference is we're bringing these folk in. We know nothing about them, or we allege that we know nothing about them. And somebody close to me told me this horrible story that might come to public in the future about the possibility that they might know who these people are, right? That's even worse to consider. But as it stands just now, we need to accept that we're bringing people into this country, putting them in places that are every single person in the majority of these places. There's very, very few hotels have family units in it, right? The vast majority of hotels that are highlighted are full of men, and not old men like me, younger men. Do you know what I mean? You'd be the oldest in the place if you were in one, John. And it's disgusting, it's wrong, and we're putting them into these places that are surrounded by communities that we're putting more risk. If we have no migrants and no illegal immigration and no fake asylum seekers, we have children on the streets of the United Kingdom who are at risk to bad men. Can we just deal with that, please, without piling into communities all across the nation, more people. We don't know who they are, and a lot of them, unfortunately, turn out to be bad to women and children. And it's got
that was the thing too yesterday, Craig. I was face to face with a couple of them across the road, and I brought that up. And I got the exact same, that woman, Kate, that you were talking about there a minute ago, I got the exact same coming back the way. How many nonces are on your side? How many rapists are on your side? And I said, but that's the point I'm making. We don't need to be importing many of these people in. We know we've got an issue. So why do we need to keep bringing more in? Well, and that's what I'm asking you that question. And he just turned his back and walked away. And I'm like...
That's two locations we've been to, right? So we've been to Peterhead, we've been to Aberdeen, right? And I've been to Falkirk. Three, right?
That's three, John. I don't know what school you went to, right? But
So I've been to three, right? So three locations, right? And in those three locations, it's everybody's got their concerns, right? And I'm hearing more and more now. There was people that weren't even at the rally, right? So see, yesterday, when I walked into Lidl's to get my because Kev was fucked. Oh, sorry, Kev was knackered, to be honest with you, so I had to get Kev back in the car. So I'm walking down, and there was these two guys, and they weren't even at the rally. And I turned around to them, I said, "What do you think of that?" I said, "Yeah, there," and they went, "Nah, this is what you think." They went, "It has to be done." What do you mean? They went, he says, these guys are getting into like women's, like there was an old wifey down the road and one of them just decided to go into her back garden and, you know, sunbathe and all that, and he was trying to get her out, and I'm like, seriously? And he's like, aye, and like, and this is a problem that's getting worse. So if we're going to these locations, you're speaking to the locals, where was STV? Where was the BBC yesterday? GB News showed up. Clyde One showed up. Clyde One only spoke to the one side. On my video, actually, there was a journalist there that he said he worked for the Daily Record and all that. I just tell him straight. I always say I hope you do some honest journalism today. But it's like, where are these politicians? Where are the mainstream media? You are painting everybody to be. Do you know what I mean? You're painting all us out to be animals. Well, you know who's the worst? It's you guys for not doing your job. This is why we all are trying to do this, and we're all trying to document what you guys aren't documenting.
But you seen again yesterday, right? I mean, every sign, every banner on that side of the fence was all manufactured again, right? It's the same looking people. These middle class working people that are bored, have nothing much to do in their lives. They've got a sad existence, and they just want to turn up because they feel like they've got to be a part of something.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Kev, can you hear me?
Yep.
Aye.
Yeah. So who was there on the left was members of the Scottish Socialist Party, who are I've spoke to Mr. Fox before, and he said to me he was a Marxist, which would mean he was a communist. So I've spoke to him, and he says that and I don't want to misquote him. I'm not trying to make him look bad. The Scottish Socialist Party were a mixture of Marxian and socialist combination there. And Stand Up to Racism is Diane Abbott. I don't know if it's a charity or a business, but that's Stand Up to Racism. Then we've got the TUC was there. So I don't know why the TUC or any trade union, same happened up in Aberdeen, they're threatening members and threatening people to turn up to a democratic, peaceful protest. And I do not think that should be the brief of the trade unions. And I would go so far, I made a speech about it the other day there, that I would go so far and say there might be a communist problem in the trade union movement in Scotland at the higher echelons of it. And then there was the Quakers, which were
Aye.
I spoke to the Quakers, and I'll tell you what I said. I'd said they were a bit reluctant to speak to me. I said, "Listen, I'm a libertarian liberal. I'm a centrist libertarian. I believe in freedom of speech, all which is true." But I said to them, they believe in peace and understanding and live and let live. But I said to them, if Hitler, rather than invading the UK, had just passed off the Nazis, you could do the same with the communists, had just passed off the Nazis as refugees, and enough Nazis had turned up in the UK, and rather than actually fighting for the UK, just the sheer weight of numbers, which wouldn't have taken to be an overall in a democracy, I think 20% could have probably taken it. So if they had managed to get 20-30% into the UK of Nazis, then we would be living under the Third Reich by sheer weight of numbers and an immigration policy that allowed in asylum seekers. If we don't care about what they think and let them in anyway, then we're going to end up with, we could either end up with a communist country, a Nazi country, an Islamist country, because we have literally given the country away because of the globalists. Now, I would really like to speak one day. I don't really like doing the joint job of being a speaker. And so I might tell you a later date about the globalists. But just now, what we are working is the end products, what the end products of this is. We're seeing the ramifications of what is actually happening downwind of what the globalists are doing. Once you're able to work out why and what the globalists are doing, whether it be the WF, WHO, the UN, and you understand their agenda, it's very easy to find out why it's happening downstream and what the reasons are from it. So really, it has to be tackled internationally. It's just getting hands out to Ireland and the rest of Europe. I think you covered that in your speech up at Peterhead, Craig. That there has to be an international anti one world government organization, and there has to be people internationally who are going to stand against the tyranny of one world government that's not democratic and not accountable to the people.
See, the thing is, see what you said there, Craig. See, actually, the Aberdeen rally, at the end of it, I was actually speaking to your good friend Kate and a couple of pals, and one of the wee women at the end of it actually totally agreed, and she said, I said, do you know about WEF? And she went, 100%. And she was kind of like, Kate was just that. I think Kate's just one of the ones that doesn't realise, like, because she said, what were you up there talking about? And I said, I was up there talking about what happened to me regarding the Jag. And she went, oh, so you're anti-vax? And I went, no, Kate, I took 3 and 1 nearly ended my life, right? So no, I'm not. And it just goes, and it's that's what you're finding. You're finding that the same people that kind of protested back in the day that were against the people during the COVID days, because down in London they were like getting the same treatment that people are getting now back in 2020. But I found it interesting when I spoke to the wee woman at the end of it, and I said, do you know about it? And she went, oh, I'm against Bill Gates, I'm against the Jag and all that. And I says, well, if you understand that, then why don't you educate them on that as well, to make them realise that causing this division, causing all of this, is exactly what's going to put us into this system that they want. And it's trying to make people realise that the system they want is this. They want this they want is all this civil unrest. That's what they want.
But by the way, there was another thing you missed as well. There was actually a representative from the Firemen's Union there yesterday too.
Who was that speaking there a minute ago?
Sorry, Alec?
Who was speaking a minute ago there before I get cut off?
Guerrilla TV.
Oh, Guerrilla TV.
I thought that's what it was. I thought that's who it was. That was about the same length of the question he asked me yesterday. He asked me about
that's right, Alex. You did very well, mate. It was a good interview, Alex. You did very well, buddy.
You could have told me to get my notepad out and record it.
Oh, dear. Oh, funny. You wait until you're in the studio with me.
I'll be better prepared next time.
Better take a dictaphone with you, Alex.
I can't hear Craig. Can you hear Craig?
Is he talking?
He was talking there.
Alex, can you tell me this? I'll need to tell it all again. It was a cracking story. It was a right good laugh. Right, Alex, tell me this, right? If he does the same to you, anytime he's interviewed me, does your Guerrilla, he asks you the question and then answers the question at the same time. And I'm standing there like, what am I doing here? Right? You go, so Craig, what do you think of such and such? Because let me tell you, I'm a libertarian, right? And then you're like, stop it. Is it just me he does that way, Alex? Does he do that with you as well?
He asked me about 40 questions, mate, in one sentence.
Oh, he's disappeared. Has he disappeared? He's lost his mic. It says he need to connect his mic stroke cam before he can add up this thing. He'll like I've packed him out, right?
Yeah,
it's a good thing I know how to answer him. I thought he was trying to catch me out with a few things. He asked me a couple of questions as well that I told him on the video had no relevance to why we were there, and I wondered why. I wondered why he was asking me them.
I was just doing a left field question, Alex. That's right, but you handled it beautifully.
I'm glad.
It cracks me up. It honestly cracks me up. This is an interview by Guerrilla TV. So, Craig, we're at this protest here today, and I'd like to ask you, what's the main reason you're here? He puts the mic in front of you for a split second and then goes, because I'm a libertarian and I think that's right. And you're like, what's it? Ask me to come on and get an interview, you mania. Anyway,
Right.
there's a guy just come into
I've
the room.
got a question for you, Craig.
Go on.
I've got a question. What do you think of scripted speakers?
Terrible.
I'll be honest with you, Alec. The first at a rally or something.
What do you think of somebody standing there with all their questions and all their answers in their hand?
When you get like First Minister's questions or Prime Minister's questions, I think it's terrible.
Right, so I've never ever had a bit of paper in my hand while I've spoke live, and I've spoke live for probably just over 5 years now. I've never done it, and I don't like it because for me it's disingenuous. And if you can't remember your subject matter and you don't know what you're talking about, I don't think you should be. I don't think you should have a microphone in your hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, as far as speaking's concerned, public speaking, the first 1.5 times I spoke publicly, I took up a speech, and I hated it. And after the halfway through the second one, I put it in my pocket. And ever since, I'll go up and I'll say, I've got 3 things in my head that I want to say, and I'll just go for it.
Mine was off the cuff yesterday.
You done brilliant.
I had said to Connor days ago that I'd said to Connor that I would speak as long as I knew who was speaking also, because I'm not going to share a platform with any idiots or anybody that goes up and speaks a load of tripe. So mine was off the cuff. It always is. And I just think you've got to speak for the heart. And if you get tongue-tied and you get a wee bit lost your way, then that's fine as well. But I don't like scripted speakers. I don't like it. But another thing, an open mic is a dangerous scenario, because if you hand that microphone to some young guy that's had a few beers and all the rest of it, and they get a bit carried away, that endangers everybody, and it endangers the narrative, and it can be very, very problematic.
Yeah. Well, we're going from me slagging Gorilla, because he's a guy that answers your question, sticks a microphone in front of you and then answers his own question, right? To a guy who actually has a good ability of how to conduct an interview, because I had the privilege of doing it yesterday. So, Sean, how are you?
How you doing, Craig? Aye, great to see. It's a great panel. Great to see everybody here. I know it. Absolutely loved the interview yesterday, mate.
Is that Sean Toll?
It's Alex. It is. Aye.
How you doing, Sean?
Good, mate. Good. Just managed to get the wins done, man. Just
the resistance. You're in with the resistance, Sean.
I know, mate.
I know that voice anyway.
Yeah, Sean put a post up today and put a photo of me in it, and honestly, half those followers must hate me. You want to see the comments, man? I'm like, that'll be done before tease out, right?
It's only a matter of time.
No, listen, that was a great conversation yesterday, Craig, and listen, you made me think. You made me think about things, you know, and obviously, if I was to go into my things, you know, I'd end up with David Icke. So we kept it kind of out of that zone, and we kept. I'd stopped politically. It was a really healthy debate, and we agreed on more things than we didn't agree.
And I think that's great, and I hope that if I've changed your mind on one thing, I hope that one thing is you're going to Ibrox next season.
Yeah. If you're letting us in this year.
Season's over. We've started.
I'm going to get myself packed my street cred right, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that I know of out of a panel of 8 are Celtic fans. Honestly, I'm going to get packed out to lunch in the band and all these things that people think I'm a member of that I'm not.
But I know it was great. Honestly, I really enjoyed that, man. It was a brilliant debate, and listen, anybody that's getting to say about it, and I said that on the thing. That's part of the problem, to be honest. If people don't want a healthy debate and don't want people that see things a wee bit differently and can't accept that, then they're not really worth kind of thinking about. They're non-playing characters in my eyes.
Me and you have been talking for a while, Sean, right?
Yeah.
We know how scary it is at this moment in time, because we know what the bigger plan is, and that's what I'm saying. I heard Alex say it on your podcast when you've done the panel. Scotland needs to get their finger out and need to realise that you're going to need to put many differences aside. I said it in my speech yesterday. I said, you better start putting your football teams aside. You better start putting your religions aside, and it's time for humanity to come together.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's needed. And right now, like I said, look, we're sitting at a panel here with the Union Jacks himself, you know what I mean, Big Hoosty. I've been programmed to hate that Union Jack. I don't deny that. But at this point in time, we're having the same issues all around the whole of the UK. So what am I meant to do? Am I supposed to sit here and go, oh, the Saltire and the Saltire only? I'm taking these green glasses off for what's happening right now. For what's happening right now, I don't care at this point in time. I just want my country and I want this future to be sorted.
Oh, definitely, mate. I think anybody, and I think that what the left and right need to agree on to even start off is that illegal immigration, people need vetted. Like that's what I was saying to Craig yesterday. Like I accept the fact that I've got a criminal conviction, so I accept that I don't get into America or I don't get into Australia or I don't get into any of these countries. I accept that. That's part and parcel of my past. But I wouldn't expect to just like get on a boat and go to America and fling my passport in the water and expect the Americans just to kind of like let me go in there and
having a hotel, get some money.
Listen, I might do a wee for GoFundMe, man. See if I can get myself out of America. That'd be quite good.
Just say you're an asylum seeker for the UK. Can't say nothing over there.
I'll just coming through. I'll maybe pick Florida. I think
there was a woman that I interviewed when I was doing the street interview yesterday, and there's a woman. I think she was from Australia. I don't know. She said it was a friend, and she says her pal's trying to get into was it the UK or she was trying to get into a different country? I can't remember. But she said to get into that country, it was like nearly 10 grand, 8 grand or something like that. Right? And it's like, well, what is this country doing? Why? Like, but again, it's all done by design. Like I've been saying this for that's just done by design. There's a reason they're doing this.
I've got a really good friend, right?
I've got a really good friend in the UK, depending on what dinghy you got on.
I know. I've got a really good friend whose partner's Venezuelan, and she's stayed in this country for I don't know, like how long she's been here, Fiona? 10 years or something? About 8 years or something. Like worked all day, like worked, never stopped working. Like worked actually 2 jobs and stuff like that. She got a letter the other day saying she was getting papped out. They were actually wanting to get rid of her.
Back to that country?
They were saying she was to go back to Venezuela.
Wow.
That was her. So she appealed it and lost as well for no reason at all whatsoever. They've got no understanding of why she got refused it. So my pal's obviously going to they're going to get married anyway, but they're just going to kind of speed up that marriage, I think. But it was quite a shock, especially when you see what's going on now, like and how they're allowing people in, and then like somebody who paid into the system and would say our boy's probably Scottish and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just say that the framing of the debate against the Patriots can be done differently, and what I would suggest is that it's said that we are libertarians and we're against all forms of authoritarianism, whether it be communism, the globalist agenda, or we're against Islam, which is also an authoritarian set of political ideals. So rather than being described as far right, we could just change the narrative and say that we're anti-authoritarian or anti-globalist or anti-communist. Or you could say that you're against just authoritarian generally, and then that way you can actually change the narrative to what you're actually against. Aye.
I would say anti-extremism instead. Sorry, I'm butting in.
Are you a libertarian? Are you a libertarian, Gorilla?
Make sure you didn't answer that
I'm a
question.
libertarian. Very sexy.
Mate, it's every second word that he's smooth, right? It can't start a sentence without saying, by the way, I'm a libertarian, right?
Hey, by the way, I'm a libertarian. I don't know if anybody knows that.
And I don't have a clue what it is. You spent an hour coming back from Aberdeen in my car telling me you're a libertarian and what it all meant, and I came out that car. My ears were bleeding.
It's simple.
I was none the wiser, right?
Let me just
elaborate on it, please.
Let me just say that in the political compass, the political spectrum, it's really
it's
quite
one
simple.
I don't believe in.
Okay, whatever.
I spoke to Sean about it. I spoke to you about it last Saturday. I spoke to Sean about it yesterday. There's no right, left, up or down. There's right and
there
wrong.
is. But I told you to do your political compass test. All you should do your
I'm not
political compass
interested.
test. Right? Okay.
I'll
but
tell you what the political compass
me.
will come back and tell me, mate. My political compass will come back and tell me I'm me. Right? There you go. Right? That's all people
But you asked
know.
me a specific question. I'm going to answer it. You asked me.
Sure, you mate, because I think it's hilarious, right? You're far more educated about politics than I'll ever A, want to be, or B, would ever be if I tried, right?
But
and
it's dead simple. This is dead simple.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Right?
All right.
The thing is, here's one for you. Here's one for you, right?
Wait a minute. Let me just answer the question. Let me answer the question, then you can move on. So, there's authoritarianism.
See, next time you put a mic in my mouth, you're getting it.
There's authoritarianism, and there's libertarianism as political ideals. So libertarianism is the opposite of authoritarianism. It's that simple.
It bored me to death then as well as the noon. Right? I get
but you asked me, and that's the answer.
Didn't you ask you? You just you're being a libertarian again and want to just tell me.
I wanted to say.
Sean took 3 years for me and him to stop talking. I couldn't believe it. That was a good 3 years, right? I'm like, what?
I know.
Gorilla on me. Right, see that gorilla? See what happens you get charged. I know. See what happens you get charged for your studio. Take 3 times the amount if you ever get gorilla on, right? Honest to God.
See, the thing is, Sean, right? Am I not right in saying you've got actually a political background yourself? Did you not go to uni or something?
Well, I've got my degrees are open degrees, like law and politics, mate.
I mean, how much do you feel that is just a waste of paper now with everything that's going on?
I don't. Me and Craig kind of touched on it yesterday. It's not really.
It's like politics isn't politics anymore. It's just.
I certainly know what I get taught. Certainly know what I get taught. That's what's happening now. You know, it's nowhere. It's no like it doesn't. It's nothing similar to what I get taught at all about politics. So, it's meaningless. I would say. I think people.
Some of the teammates be proud of it.
I think like the obviously you take any kit, like if you take Scotland and you look at the devolved powers we've got and you take Holyrood and stuff like that and you look at the people that are in it at the moment in time and you try and count how many of the people are actually at a real level of being able to talk about the stuff that we're going on. I mean, me and Craig touched on addiction, which I'm passionate about and stuff like that. And I mean, like, I don't know how many times the minister's changed. And the thing is these people cannot possibly be experts in every single field that they get put into. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's impossible. Like, so how can you be a drugs minister and then the next minute you're a sports minister? Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't be an expert in these kind of things. You know what I mean? So I think what Craig was saying yesterday, which I did take a lot on board, was like how we use what we've got instead of. I'm still not going to say we don't tax the billionaires, but I know what Craig's talking about when he's saying like using the stuff like that we've got and using it and utilising it. That made a lot of sense to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think we do that. I think we've got a lot of idiots in there who are like your Madison and that with the 11 grand for his children watching the thing. So I think things like that is the things that we need to look at is looking at like how we utilise what we do have as well. It's a huge thing.
Listen, what I'm going to do just now, guys, I'm going to carry on with this debate with the people that are in the panel now. But I'd just like to remind us that, you know, that shows about the people that are listening. And that's why we call Houston We Have a Problem. What I want you to do is click the link, go up to the studio and tell us, Houston, we have a problem, and tell us what your opinions are. We've had one guy up tonight so far. It was fantastic. I think the last time we had one was Thursday night, and there was about 8 or 9 or 10 people. 3 or 4 of them. Oh yeah, I was right enough. But I just want to go up and go, Houston's a racist, right? I was like, all right, I smash it.
Is the boy Connor coming on?
I think so. I spoke to him earlier on, and I sent him a link and stuff. So unless something's come up in his personal life, I don't know.
I wanted to praise him when he speaks. You've done really well.
You and me both, mate. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click to a wee 56-second video that will give you guys a wee chance to get a glass of water, whatever you're doing, and just to remind people that are listening and watching the real reason for this show, and please take me up on the offer. Hi there, welcome to a new concept for the channel where you, the viewer, gets to come onto the show and tell me, Houston, we have a problem. I want to hear from you, your community, and the issues you have with the United Kingdom currently. And the only thing I ask you to do is start a conversation with, Houston, we have a problem. When you see the description on YouTube, all you have to do is scroll down the description, click on that link, it'll bring you straight into the studio. From there, I'll invite you up. You start the conversation with Houston, we have a problem. We'll see what we can do to help you, your community, and your problems going forward. You never know, it might be my next journey, lengthening bread to the UK, to come to your community and cover your issues. So get live, get involved. Houston, we have a problem. That was perfect timing because I've just landed back in my chair. Right, so I've got Stephen up, but I've not heard from Stephen yet. So Stephen, how did I have
Be a libertarian.
Stephen's a libertarian from Peterhead, and Stephen organised the protest up in Peterhead last week. It was so successful, and we all came up. We enjoyed the experience. So, what's been happening to you? That's last week, Stephen.
I just more of the same. Aberdeen protest after protest after protest. And we keep going. I said to Kev earlier on, we'll do every single one in Aberdeen, and then we'll do them all again. And then again.
What was the counter-protest like this time, Stephen?
Oh,
are the numbers
same guys?
More of you guys than them, or?
I'd say to start with,
definitely.
DJR was there as well, and I think we definitely outnumbered them. They did have a lot, but there was a lot more of us. But I think John kind of made a bit of a mistake after the speakers went, and we lost power to the speakers because a local Polish shop, they gave us power to run everything because the generator had packed in.
Yeah.
But he made a kind of a speech at the end thanking everybody for coming, and I think the majority of the crowd took it the wrong way and thought, "Oh, it's finished." So kind of left. But in fair play to the guys that stuck about till the end, it was the young guys as well. And Donald Trump, as I'm sure you've seen from.
That was horrific. That mask, that was terrible. It's like the cheapest Donald Trump mask you'll ever find. It was horrific.
Did Big Fish just turn into Winston Churchill there? Did I just see you spark up a big cigar?
I've got a wee packet here that a couple of the kids had bought us for the football team back at holidays, and I've seen Stephen enjoying one. I have maybe one cigar every week, 2 weeks, to be honest with you. I've just seen him puffing on one, and I thought, I'm actually trying to am Sean up and act like a billionaire because he doesn't like them, right? Anyway, so but a problem there with the stuff, and folk thought if the protest was over because somebody says thanks for coming.
It was John, the organiser. I think just while the mic was on with the speakers, he wanted to thank everybody, and I think the majority of the crowd took it the wrong way. Said that's it, finished now, so we'll just scarp her. Right. But it's all right. It was his first one. Same as myself, because we jumped on and gave him a hand, but he's just got the next one, depending whether he's allowed to attend, will be better, because it was the same again. What was that, sorry?
Who was it brothers up in Aberdeen that got a bail condition that they can't go to protest? Was it the Marine and his brother or Thor and his brother?
Aye, it was Lewis.
Lewis.
Did you say Thor?
Aye, is that the oh, I bet I voice and Brian
What's
Price, isn't he?
that,
See if
Aye,
they're
that
ever
was,
down to that Scotland again. He's a guy in the wings, isn't he? He's getting that gig the next time it's Flash Gordon Reloaded. Will be big Thor. I thought he was taking the piss to start with until he kept going. I went, that's his voice, that's a cracker. He should be the voiceover guy. Hi there, welcome to Peterhead. I thought that was where his voice was going to go normal, and then that was it.
I thought it was a wind up when I first heard them. I was like, what a voice.
Welcome to Peterhead. I'm not happy and I'm going to spend 10 minutes telling you why. Right?
What
And
a
I'll wait.
wrestler, man.
And he works out the boy. He was burst. He looked like me with a polo shirt on when I was 18 stone. He was bursting at the thing. What a speaker. So is it him? Because when he said two brothers, I wasn't sure if it was them two brothers or the Marine and his brother.
Aye, it was them two. Like,
so what's he been arrested for?
He doesn't even know.
Aye, he told me it was to do with hate speech. Aye. So aye, he got the same, arrested, charged, released with the bail conditions, no protest.
Without an interview, the same as me, with charged without an interview. So they don't actually tell you what you've done. They just
by the way, I know a wee bit about that, Craig. See when you went to the cop shop, did you get given a lawyer?
I wasn't given one. I was asked if I wanted to get one on my behalf.
Did they ask you that straight away?
Well, I was at the thing getting processed, before I even get my fingerprints and stuff. So it was early on. I don't know if it was the first thing they said.
Okay, because there's a few times like you could maybe see if they don't ask that question, it's against the law now. But it was just in case they didn't. Sometimes they don't do it. They'll interview you first, and then.
Do you know, Sean? It's a shitty experience, right? But as I said to people that weekend, the weekend I got arrested, there was people with lost relatives. There was people that were told they had incurable diseases that weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole thing of things. It's not that bad. It's shit, but it's not that bad. But wow, I'd see the coppers. It's shit being arrested, especially outside your girlfriend's door at 9:30 in the morning. It's or the curtains twitching and all that. But the cops were fine. They were respectful as you could be arresting somebody. Right? They weren't windows. They weren't like throwing me about the street. They weren't argumentative. They were fine. There was one thing they done that I thought was a bit, but I'll get my way with that, and that was to do with my phone. I'll maybe talk about that from another point. Obviously, don't want to talk too much about the case, but the process of being arrested, that's fine. That can't interfere with any case. And they were all right. They could have been a lot worse. It could have been snidey. They could have put me in cuffs, flung me against the hedge, all that nonsense. It never happened. They actually apologised at one point because they said when we're taking you into the station, we actually need to hold your arms. I'm sorry, well, whatever. Once you need to do that, so I'm not running. I couldn't really run anyway. But aye, they were all right with me, and aye, that was when I'd left. I opened up my phone, gave them a number, turned my phone back off, and that was the last I've seen my phone. So aye, but it was processed. It wasn't processed immediately.
Is there anything on next or coming up?
What do you mean? The party political broadcast by the Libertarian Party of the United Kingdom.
Good bunch of guys.
Aye. So, are you away? Are you busy? Like, it's cool if you are. Fine. Your input's been fantastic.
No, I was wondering if there's anywhere else that's coming up.
Protest.
There's one on the 23rd. John, do you remember that the guy gave us the flyer for the farmers on the 23rd up in Stirling?
Right. You ragtag mob. Right. You need to be quiet a wee minute. We've got one of the normal people. One of the punters has joined the show for the second time. Right, and he knows how to start. He knows how to introduce it. I'm not even going to need to tease it out of him. Bobby, the floor's yours. Bobby's on mute. Bobby? You there, pal? Bobby? I don't know what's happened. Oh, there he's there. Right, Bobby. The floor's yours. How do you start? Oh, come on, Bobby.
He done it so well last time, didn't he?
He done so well the last time. You know, he's
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! Right, Bobby, the floor's yours.
My internet just went down.
Oh, well. We can hear you.
Is there any? I just wanted to come on and see if there was any other protests around the Central Belt, as in Perthshire.
So there's one in Stirling.
Stirling the 23rd for the farmers.
Yep. So the Stirling 23rd, 1 p.m. at Kings Park. They're doing one for the farmers. I've been speaking to the boy that's been organising it. His name's Chris. So I take it that's next. Is that next week? So I won't be able to go to it, unfortunately. I wanted to go to it because I've been to the farmers down in Wales. For me, as much as the immigration is a problem, there are many other problems that they're trying to slide under, and one of them for me is every single one of us have got, we all eat at the end of the day. And when I'm speaking to farmers and they're telling me that, yes, if things keep going the way they're going, we are going to go into a food shortage. You're going to see it really, really ramp up when it comes into winter time. So they're doing one Saturday, 23rd of August at 1 p.m. at Kings Park, Stirling. And they've been trying to get it out. So if anybody wants to go there and stand with the farmers, because for me, we have to stand with the farmers. Again, part of everything's just, that's the one thing. As much as immigration, it's just they're sliding all this stuff under. So that's one that I know about.
Do you not think Do you not think it's quite relevant that Larry Fink is now the king of the WEF now?
I posted about that.
I've not done a deep dive into him yet.
Well, the fact that
you don't want to.
No, he's WEF. You don't need Sean to tell you that's a bit stinking, right?
BlackRock now runs the WEF. Oh wow!
Aye, that's who Larry Fink is. Aye.
But, I take it he's evolved. I take it he's evolved.
I take it you all understand the sort of big picture that's going on at the moment, the war between the bankers and the technocrats.
Mm-hmm.
No, educate me here, Bobby.
Well, basically, it's a power control between the bankers through that. This is why our currencies are. I mean, when you go and buy something, the inflation rates are so high that everything is through the roof. When you go and do your shopping, it's like nearly doubled in the last 2 years because the value of currencies has went basically through the roof because they printed money through 2020 right up to today's nonsense. So the actual currencies themselves are on a slippery slope. That's what I'm saying. So
is this basically them flexing on muscles?
Yes, this is the bankers flexing their muscles against the technocrats, but the technocrats will always win. So it's like one bad nightmare into another bad nightmare.
I'm just waiting for the fiat currency just to totally collapse. They've been warning us about that for a while now.
Can I ask you something, Bobby, about the centre of your bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I was up in Perthshire for 3 days there,
and I was annoyed I missed you as well.
Aye, and I'm annoyed I never got a free coffee. So, and what I saw sadly, I've also in migrant at Celtic. One of the English boys came up and done a tour. One of the audit guys. He done a tour of Scotland, and he walked from one hotel across the street in Perth to one that's facing him. And I believe there's at least another one or two in that city, which is a big city.
That's correct.
We kind of think that must be a prime location for the people to say, we've kind of done enough of this, right? And I'll tell you something else about Perthshire, without telling you something else about Perthshire. I had someone giving me some information, and because it could cause them some severe problems, I'll probably never talk about it. But I believe there's some really, really dark things going on up in Perth right now.
100%.
And I kind of think that place needs some help. The people in Perth, no bother I don't know, are they so under the cosh that that's
no,
why
we went through all this in 21, 22, but we were fighting other things at that time. And so it was all done under the radar, and this is what they do. It's just they deflect things onto something else, and then they throw everything under the radar. But this has been going on a while in Perthshire. It's just it's not really hit the mainstream, or nobody's really talking about it. But it's been going on for a long time now.
What, the migrant issue?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and is it, as you know, as we're seeing in other places? I mean, that place in Falkirk, the thing that was the main driver for that appears to be 2 or 3 incidents of people being abused, 2 minors and an adult, which then made people angry, and you know.
I would say it's a matter of time before it really kicks off here. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, look forward to coming up to Perth then.
Aye, I mean, sometimes twice a week. It's no.
You can keep us posted, Bobby, and give us a time and a date.
Yeah, I mean, it's the numbers in these hotels is it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, you just don't feel safe walking down the street. And if I was a young girl or a student or a mum or a young family, then it's not good. That's all I'm going to say. It's declined dramatically in 4 years.
No, I was shocked. I go up to Perth regular, but I'm never really in the town centre. And
all I will say is, what I do want to say is, what I have noticed, a lot of the local shops like haberdasheries and things that were a local business for local people, a lot of those shops have now shut. So all the small businesses have now all closed, and they've all been replaced by barbers.
They're a surprise.
And this is a thing that I think some people need to go and look into, because I go for my haircut once a month or whatever, and I have never seen so many barbers in Perth. Never.
He's not growing your hair?
No, it's just, I mean,
I'll keep it short.
The population hasn't grown that much, okay? But all I'm saying is, certainly the barber shops have grown dramatically. There's one in every single corner. I'm not going to mention any names or anything. I'll let you figure that one out yourself. But
Bobby,
can I
ask you a question?
Sure.
See the barbers that you've got, your barbers only dealing with cash only?
Well, some of them, how can I phrase this in a way? What I will say is, some people are coming in and not even paying for their haircut.
Okay. Because there's a couple of barbers through here that are cash only as well. They won't take
they
any
are cash only. You're 100%. These specific ones you're talking about are cash only.
Aye.
There was somebody in our X-Space one night, and they were talking about some place down south, and they worked it out that in this town, if every single person in the town got their haircut in the town and didn't go outside the town for the haircut, with the amount of barbers, if you get your haircut once a fortnight, the barbers would only have like 3 customers a day, and there was hundreds of them. There was that many. It was just like ridiculous. You're like, well, you need to do more than 3 customers a day to survive. But if everybody got a haircut, they would only have had 3 customers a day. It was bonkers. The ratio, the amount
there's something bigger at play. That's 100%. For sure.
I mean, Bobby, we've been talking for how long? Bobby's been one of my good mates, to be honest with you.
A long time.
That man basically saved my life, if I'm being honest with you. He's been brilliant with me. Bobby, one thing I was telling Craig, because I don't want to tell your job, but your job's very high end. We were talking about the water, mate, and people in Scotland seem to think that the water in Scotland is absolutely fantastic. Now, you kind of work in that industry. Would that be correct in saying that?
Yeah. I mean, all I will say is what they do. If you let's take Scottish Water. Let's take Scottish Water. They do tests every month on local reservoirs and things, and they do all their tests. All I'm going to say on that subject matter is what people need to look at is what they don't test for. Because they sure as hell like to put in what they do test for, but they never ever tell you what they don't test for.
You talk about testing for things in the water or testing for other things.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
I can give you an example.
Did they test for fluoride, Bobby?
You always have natural fluoride in all water courses, so I'm not going to go into fluoride is another subject matter which is being added into English water. It doesn't get added into Scottish water because there's a law against it.
Right.
So we're not going to have that problem in Scotland, hopefully. They are trying it. I do believe they tried it in Clydebank, or they're trying to put down laws to try and bring it into Clydebank. But fluoride is there's other things that are just as bad, like trihalomethanes is one, which is THMs. They should not be in any water course whatsoever. There's other things there as well. There's a number of chemicals and products that are in the water course that should not be there. Pesticides is one, which they don't even test for. So you get your water runoff to all your farmland, where they spray over the farmland, all that, when it rains, all that water runs into the groundwater contamination and runs into the rivers, runs into the water courses. That's why they've got treatment plants to try and get rid of all this stuff.
We're getting attacked for
this is a big subject matter that needs addressed dramatically. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, we've got another caller in to the show. Again, something that's been in before. So I'm going to bring him up and he knows how to introduce himself. What's on Scotland? The floor is yours.
Houston, you have a problem.
See, it's cracking, isn't it?
Yes, I'm good, Craig. How you doing?
Very well, mate. Good to see you.
Good, mate. Good. I'm just trying to make a wee point here on the what's been called racists all the time, Craig. And the wee point I want to make is, see if these people were coming here from Norway, Iceland, Finland, and they were the whitest of the white with the blondest of the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't be wanting them coming into the country, running savagely wild the way these other folks are doing. Nothing to do with the colour of their skin. Absolutely nothing to do with the colour of their skin. It's just, so I just want to make that point that it wouldn't matter where people came in illegally. If you're coming in illegally, we don't want you in illegally.
Yeah,
so don't call us racist because it's got nothing to do with the colour of the people's skin.
Do you know where the word racist comes from?
Libertarian.
No.
I don't.
So the word racist comes from Leon Trotsky. Leon Trotsky.
Yeah, I know who Trotsky is.
Is a Jewish communist who was in Stalin's government, and he murdered tens and hundreds of
I know what they've done. I know that. I'm just trying to make
so Trotsky wrote a book and about this, and he made up the word racist.
Right, okay. Also, to you there, buddy, you're saying we should call ourselves libertarianisms or whatever. It's no us that are calling ourselves the far right. It's the other cunts.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think we should take the narrative. That you're right what you said. That's why I think we should take the narrative.
We're not calling ourselves. They're calling us the far right. Tell them to call us the libertarians.
Everybody start calling it. Everybody start saying it, and then it'll change the dynamic.
You know.
And it won't change it if they decide to change it. The people.
No, you can change it. You can change it.
Why don't you call yourselves the humanitarianism?
Why don't we just call ourselves normal? Right?
Exactly.
Or the majority. Right?
That would be that'd be good.
I don't. That's what I call them. I call them.
Quick one for you. One of my mates is in the live tonight too. He's in the minority.
That's a lie.
He's a ginger ninja.
You've got mates.
He's a good pal of mine.
Just adopt Craig Houston's language, right? And split the whole camp into two and have the Goon platoon and the normals, right? That's that.
And Craig, sorry, Craig, can I just say something to Sean? He needs to get you on with that Thomas Sheridan and let us have a debate and let us see it.
Oh, listen, it was hard enough having one crackpot in the studio with me. I couldn't deal with two, right?
I know, but poor Alec had to have them ganging up on him, didn't he?
I want that gigging off, by the way.
I could get it. I could possibly do that.
Sean,
David Valentine
wants to get Tommy on it. I used to like Tommy. I used to have a lot of respect for Tommy when I was a young boy. but I've totally lost it all for him now, and I'd like to see somebody debating him, because Tommy's a good speaker, but so is Craig, and I'd like to see them having a talk. It'd be great.
It would be. Let me work on it.
That'd be great. That's all I want to say, boys.
Listen, mate, thanks for coming up again.
No worries.
Good to see you
all. Take care.
Right, buddy. Have a good one.
Cheers, boys.
Sorry for piping in, but for me, it's really simple. It's either right or wrong.
I agree.
That's what I keep saying. There's no right and left. There's right and wrong.
Absolutely. And we're in the right. Don't worry about that.
I told Sean the story. I get invited into the London School of Economics around April. He talked about politics, which I thought was bizarre.
Well, that's the Fabian Society, isn't it? Is that not the Fabian Society, the London School of Economics?
I kind of don't think so. They wouldn't have had me in there if they were.
Well, I think if you look into it, you'll find it is.
I might be a Fabian Society, and I would be shocked and stunned if the whole thing was a Fabian thing.
I would advise you to have a wee look into it.
Aye, I will do. But I was well received, so I kind of some of the stuff I was saying was a bit nuts. But what I was sort of saying in the speech was, this left and right and left doesn't make any sense to me. And I said, I'm going to prove to you two things in this speech. One, I am the most uneducated and inexperienced in this whole room on politics, and that will not take me long to prove that. The other thing I want to prove is that I'm right in the way that we should talk about politics. And I said, try it here. I said, put your hand up if you believe in the notion of a national health service. And everybody in the room put their hand up. And I says, okay, so that's a left or centre policy, because that's you suggesting that the state should look after something very important on your behalf called your health. So in today's language, where we need to make everything polar and extreme, that means this room's full of communists. Then I said, could you now put your hand up if you think you get too much immigration, and whether that's one too many or 100% too many, I don't really care. But put your hand up if there's too many. And the whole room put their hand up. I said, well, isn't that bizarre? Because in the space of 35 seconds, we've come to I don't know, that is a room full of communists into a room that's now full of right-wing racist fascists. So if that doesn't prove to you that left and right is a total nonsense, then nothing will. Because if you can be both of these things at the same time, it makes them redundant. So the only thing that's important is actually right and wrong. I'm going to start muting mics one by one just to find out where the feedback's coming from. But so I kind of agree with you. I just go bollocks to it. I cannot be bothered with it. People go, oh, that SDP, are they no left-leaning? I don't know. I don't know what that means anymore. What I do know is, in the old traditional way, we've got policies that are probably further left than the Labour Party and policies that are further right than Reform and the Tories. So what does that make us? Does that make us communists, racists, fascists? I don't know. So I can't be bothered. Do you like the policies? Aye. Are they good or are they bad? Aye. Great. Let's deal with that. So, aye. Common sense and a bit of logic and changing narrative. Just stop buying into this nonsense where we've all got to be polar apart. We've all got to be extreme this or extreme that. We've all got to be up to the north or down to the south with I don't know, that thing. Was it libertarians? Are you a libertarian? Or authoritarian? Or that. Because I guarantee you, see if you actually looked at that line as well, the up and down line with authoritarian and anarchy, right? That's kind of extremes there, right? Like you're doing nothing and or bugger it will do everything. That's where that line goes. Well, most normal people have a bit of both. It's quite nice to have rules. Have some regulations isn't the worst thing in the world, because if we don't have any rules, then we're French, right? And then if, with too many rules, then we're Russian. So, nobody wants either of the mad things. So it's kind of like, it's all bollocks to me. This line that goes that way in the spectrum and this line that goes that way, you want to stick me in a thing and it's the top right or the bottom left box, I don't care, right? And I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm not getting involved in mad debates about spectrums and what's that one? Overton window. Somebody, see the next time somebody says Overton window to me, I might just stick hitting them, right? I'm fed up with it all. It doesn't show. So what if the Overton window's sliding? What the hell is the Overton window? The only people that know these things are the 5% of the population that are actually totally norberts. I'm a norbit now. I've went for a normal guy in 18 months that spoke about politics when an election came up or a budget came up, to a guy that talks about it almost 24/7, right? We are still the minority. We are norbits, right? Normal people don't care about politics until a budget comes up or an election. Right? 5% of the population, we are the norbits. and what to talk about over the windows and authoritarianism and communism and socialism and fascism and all. You're like, Jesus, Brett, what do you mean? And then what you do to try and confuse us all is you then go, over the windows changing. Does that mean it's on? So it might be different tomorrow. Aye, all right. So if they pigeonhole everybody, but that's imaginary window that I don't really know what it means either, right? Well, that might be changing. So stay tuned. I don't want to stay tuned anymore. I don't want to talk nonsense about nonsense. I want to sort shit out if that's all right. Can we politicians that sort shit out and don't talk about over the windows and all that? Spoken to Twitter like that. What are you talking about?
You want over windows?
What do you put in that, Stevie? I don't care, mate. Honestly. Stick it in your... Do you know what? He's like that to me the other day. See, now you're a leader of a party. You need to come onto my channel and talk for 3 hours about policy. I'd rather, honest to God, I'd rather get that fork and stick it in my forehead than sit and talk about.
I'm a great laugh.
What?
I said I'm a great laugh. Those 3 hours will fly by.
I bet they were. They flew by.
I'll tell you what, the 3 years that they fly by coming down in that motor.
I'm buckled. So am I. I've just done a Kevin the Ranter there, didn't I? Just got on my high horse about something and nobody was letting me off it.
Pure monologue, man.
They can interrupt you, that's why.
I know. Get the power of the mind.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry to butt in, but I'm going to need to boost, right? It's really,
really nice. Whoa, stop it, Biggie. I gave you 3.5 hours of my life yesterday. You'll stay for another 10 minutes.
Listen, I'll come on and I promise you I'll do a full 1 week, Craig. And I'll be on, I promise I'll be on more often. I just my missus, we're supposed to watch the new Superman film, so.
You mean you're saying Christ the Superman?
I'm getting the daggers, know what I mean?
Sean, one thing before you go, I heard you calling her Fiona earlier, right? So have a great night with Fiona, mate. And when do you think the podcast will be out, buddy?
Probably, I would imagine, no this week, but the following, Craig. And I'll have shots and stuff like that. But listen, you can have access to it. Just let me know what bits you want, and obviously I'll give you access to it so you can cut it up and take what bits you want out of it.
Wait till it's out first. There'll be some bits I think I spoke a wee bit sense in that I could probably utilise myself going forward.
I know.
John, I'm sorry for letting you down, mate. I couldn't make it Friday, but I had
don't worry. I'll set another one up, John. We'll get another one going. It's just obviously it's hard to get. It's hard sometimes when you do the panel ones. It's trying to get everybody at the one time. Do you know what I mean? It's always somebody like.
Get me the big man there with Sheridan and somebody else, mate. That'll be funny.
I know. Listen, I wouldn't. I'm Tommy's. I like Tommy, by the way, and I know a lot of people on here won't like him, but and he's a great talker, man. But I mean, I don't agree with Tommy with everything. Do you know what I mean? That's my stance, and it's like I'm myself. I'm the same way as Craig is, and I'm myself.
The thing is with Tommy, right, and I know you need to go, Sean, but the thing that really baffles me is, and I was saying this to Craig, was it earlier the day, Craig? He remember he done that debate panel with you and Alex.
Aye.
And there was a point where he was sitting there going, we've got Parliament talking about men getting into women's toilets, right? Aye. But my counter argument with him there is Tommy, you're sharing the stage with these same people. Do you get what I'm saying? You're sharing the people that are muddying the water for all this madness. You're sitting there with them and you're flying the flag with them and all that. It's ridiculous. So
no, he's. But I don't think because let's see if you listen. Tommy's ma was the founder of Women's Aid, which is like obviously a remarkable thing. Do you know what I mean? And he's certainly no one for he's no one for like a woman's not a woman and a guy's not a guy. Like Tommy's certainly no one of the guys. I don't know why he chooses to. You need to ask him that. I don't know why he chooses to stand with people. I don't go to these things because I think they're all divisive, but that's only my opinion. Do you know what I mean?
What I was saying is it was like when Alex went to the one last year, the one that Craig spoke at.
Aye.
So last year when Craig was there, they were in George Square. And Tommy was at the other side. But then you had all the trans mob and all that sitting there, and you're sitting there going, this is just Lazoo over here, man. Do you get what I'm saying?
Aye, no.
It's madness.
I can assure you he's no like, and he's no on that kind of thing. But listen, I understand why you would say why you standing with him. Then, do you know what I mean? But that's something you need to take up with him, man.
See Tommy Sheridan, I could probably sum him up in one word: libertarian.
Nah,
he'll be welcome into my party. Tell him I'm asking for
a pleasure, mate.
going on the griller.
No, I know. Listen,
come
guys,
back anytime, buddy.
And I'm pretty sure it won't be the last, man. I'll be on again. You know, it's a great wee thing you've got going, Craig. So, I can only thank you for having me on, man. And everybody, John, Alex, that I know, and all the new guys. It's lovely to meet you. All right.
Sean, can I ask a quick question before you go?
He's going to be after 10.
Give me a second. I'll quickly ask him. See how you're going to get John on. You're going to pay for to get his teeth whitened and that.
The what, mate?
You're going to give him money to get his teeth whitened.
I need to get my own ones done first.
I'm his Superman, aren't I, Kev?
No, thanks for having me, guys. Right, right. Catch you.
Take care, mate.
Bye, lads. Bye.
Right, we've got another call. We've got another caller, and it's John that I'm going to bring up, and I'm sure John knows how he opens his line when he comes up. And the floor's yours, John.
You're
mute, John.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you know.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Very well, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, very good. I heard earlier on that they had a bomb scare in Bournemouth last night. And I just spoke to my uncle who lives just outside of Bournemouth, and he said that it was some bloke who split up with his missus, and he didn't want any other man to have his missus, so he put a bomb under a car. He put a bomb under this woman's car. It was a car bomb because he didn't want his wife cheating on him with another fella. It's crazy, that, isn't it?
It's the kind of world we're living in now.
Here, homes in Hertfordshire town were evacuated after a suspicious object was found. Police were called to Cowley Hill in Bournemouth at about 12:15 BST on Saturday. Several roads were closed while the object was dealt with by the bomb squad. Late in the evening, Hertfordshire police said controlled explosions were carried out before people were allowed to return home. A cordon was still in place in Cowley Hill on Sunday. Hertsmere Borough Council set up a safety area for residents at a community centre in Shenley Road during the incident. Wow. There's a few people, there's loads of people who got coverage at the Sun, BBC, Herts Advertiser, Watford Observer. None of them telling you, obviously, much about the actual surrounding this. Why it happened?
It's crazy. The mainstream media have not commented on it, have they, Craig?
Well, aye, they have. I mean, the BBC, the Sun,
have they?
Daily
my apologies.
Aye, but what I'm saying is none of them saying what happened. They're just saying there was a evacuation, there was a bomb, it was Bournemouth, and that's about it. You know, police are investigating.
Yeah, my uncle, he said his wife, his mother lives down the street from it, and apparently it was a disgruntled husband. How did he get out of a bomb to make it anyway? That's what I'd like to know. Crazy.
Well, was it a bomb though?
Apparently it was a car bomb.
But the guy had made a suspicious. No, it's
I'm only going on here.
It might not have been a bomb. It's seen as a suspicious object.
But to get the
no, what they're saying is it was nobody's saying what it is. I think it's a suspicious. I'll get this up. There you go. Right, so the Sun, dozens of how blah blah blah. Bomb squad raced to the scene after suspicious object found under a car. So nobody's saying it might be a bomb, but they're not saying, they're just calling it a suspicious object. But look at that. It looks like quite a leafy suburban area as well, you know.
Mm-hmm. like you said, Kev, it's the time we're living in, isn't it, nowadays?
Aye.
We'll just go back one.
We're living in a society that's full of crackpots, man.
Yeah, we keep letting more and more and more.
Aye.
I'm gonna
Without
need
knowing who they are.
I'm gonna need to head off, guys. I'll catch you later. Right? I appreciate it, Craig, as always. And Uncle Denzel, you're getting the bill for the
watch
pool.
Superman.
I think so. Aye. I think so.
What you saying, Gino?
You're getting the bill for that diesel, man. He's like, I says, how far?
Wait a minute here. I'm charging. No. Hold on.
How far
I'm
do you
charging
stay
you
away
for carrying your makeup bag about all day yesterday.
Right? How far are you from Falkirk? 15, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, man. I'm like, aye, very good.
Oh, listen, I'm charging you for carrying your makeup bag about all day yesterday. Every time he was going on camera, he's like, "Is my hair all right? Do you know what I mean?"
He was trying to chat up with 2 women at the end, I know, weren't you, Kev?
Oh,
the eye candy here and there. The amount of stuff I have to edit with him, by the way. Unbelievable, man. Anyway, right, on that note, I'll catch you later and bring the noise, man.
John.
John.
Yep. The Anna has put residents who was evacuated said 3 bombs were found and safely detonated. The plot thickens, huh?
There's one for you to dig into again.
I not got enough to dig into.
No, because you like all that stuff. Keeps you busy.
Oh no, but listen, I've got a rucksack, right? And it's kind of like that, isn't it? Right? If you just want to throw more in.
Are you going up to Aberdeen next week, Craig? No, that I'm not hunting for a lift.
I don't know is the honest answer. I need to be in Perth on Sunday morning at really early after clock, right? So I'm like, don't fancy going all the way up to Aberdeen, driving all the way back down, and then driving up to Perth again at stupid o'clock because
that's right. That makes sense.
It's just like mad. So I was thinking either go up, stay in Aberdeen, leave Aberdeen earlier, or just even stop somewhere between Aberdeen and Perth and sort of break a day up there. I've got main family and stuff like that.
What time's the kick-off for that one next Saturday?
That was 6 p.m.
Oh, it's a night-time one again?
Aye. But it usually starts getting busy around about 4:30. That's what I was told.
Right, well, if I leave here Wednesday, I'll get up there in time.
You need to leave the now, going in that yellow bumblebee you've got.
I should speak to my mate, the Ginger Ninja, get him to go to one of these things, man. If you ain't got bad, man, wait till you see him go.
What did John call your scooter?
What's that?
Are you taking a moped, aye?
I mean, I'm going to come up because I was looking at the weather forecast. It'll be a decent day. It'll be a decent drive up. I'll head up and then I'll come and stand with you guys, and then I told John. I says, obviously John Carr and Josh, Fair and Air coming back up again. They're about to get a promo video on Monday for it. But I did tell him after you messaged me and let me know. I says there will be a special guest up for Glasgow in attendance, and he's an absolute menace on a microphone. but Craig, I'll bring my loudspeaker up with me.
Look, birds on the ceiling. Big Craig's looking quite Lex Luthor there with a cigar because of the Superman stuff. Remember, who was it that played Lex Luthor in the original Star Wars? I'm probably the only one old enough to remember the original Superman. Yeah.
No, I can remember the original, but I can't remember who it was that played him.
What's his name?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Well done, Bob. Well done, that man.
Well done, that libertarian.
I'll give you a website, Craig, so you can stock up. Get a massive discount as well.
Don't see that there. That should do me about 3 months. Right? If I stock up, it'll do me 3 weeks. I did like that one I told you about that I bumped into in Dubrovnik. That was a nice cigar.
To Bobby, by the way. I like us thinking our boy Bobby, but a clever boy.
Papped him. There's another libertarian. Aye, too many of the libertarians. There he's staying lively, but look, he's staying lively.
Is he still there?
For throwing things into the comments. There you go, Gene Hackman.
Oh, actually, yes.
Right. Oh, by the way, on that, there was something else I meant to do that other night. I forgot all about it. I'm going to change the screens a wee bit. Right. See my new studio set up. I'm nearly there. Right. I'm going to have the rest of the balls done, and then I'm going to put the table this way and have guests in, right, and do stuff like that. Anyway, see the lights at the back? Yellow. We're on yellow. We can do anything here, and I'm going to leave myself wide open, looking at the panel that I've got in front of me. I'm not of the same mind with me as a football, right? But look
at that, it's lovely.
What?
That disco.
Right, we can have all the colours of the rainbow, right?
Oh.
So we're going to let you pick. You can have blue.
What the colours of the rainbow, but you
yellow
turn
or red.
one
We'll go
alphabet.
four, right? So we can have blue, green, yellow, or red for the rest of the show. And if you stick it in, keep the poll going for the next 3 minutes in the comments sections. Blue, red, yellow, or green. And we'll play out the last 5-10 minutes.
Listen, knowing your audience, it's got to be blue.
Look at this. You need a
need to keep it rainbow off.
Get
need to keep it rainbow off for your Ewan or Sophie, whatever you want to call him.
Get Sophie.
Right,
we'll do a bit of this.
That's nice.
The blue looks nice.
Oh, we're getting a lot of red here, Craig.
Oh, aye, nice.
There. See, I've got. There's one you can do music, right? And you can go.
That's a belter.
I don't want that playing too long, or I'll get demonetized for.
That's good, aye.
Copyright. So anyway, okay, I like my new toy. So I've got a few other bits, and there's some people. I need to actually thank some people because I was just clicking on them as I went in. We've got Bob Hunter, Wendy Moore, Bob Hunter again. Bob Hunter's gone nuts. We've got 4 loads of people, and 3 of them's Bob Hunter. So these are people that have gave me what I think they call them super stickers, and that super chat, and that goes into the pot that YouTube give me at the end of the month. And the super chats and anybody that's taking out a membership for the channel, what I do with that money is I buy things like the lights, like the cameras, like, and then something that DGR's helped me with. The latest key thing is a drone, right? And I'm still trying to work out how to play it properly. And DGR's been helping me really well with that. So that the money that comes in to YouTube through the supers and the memberships and stuff, that's kind of what I use it for. And all this stuff that's going on in the other bits and bobs that I've got lined up for in the studio. And the other thing is the buy me a coffee thing, which only started when I went to Greece, because I thought this is going to cost me a few quid. And I thought if I could get £200 or £300 in donations through that would help me a lot. Well, a week later, after coming back and putting out a couple of videos, it blew it. And I got all the money back for the trip on Buy Me a Coffee. So there's a wee bit in the kitty for Buy Me a Coffee. There's maybe 200 or 300, 400 quid. I'll need to count it up. And that's sitting there for the next trip. And the next trip is going to be even more expensive than
the Switzerland with me.
No.
Oh, didn't start this one.
The reason being, I'm going to the worst city in Europe that's devastated. It's dangerous. There's more hand grenades and public ownership in this city than the rest of Europe put together, which is bonkers when you think about it. So I'm not going alone. I've got somebody coming with some really good post protection experience. So that's going to cost obviously double because I've got 2 flights, and unless they want to cuddle off me, there'll be 2 lots of accommodation and stuff like that. So that'll be happening hopefully before the end of this month. I'm just waiting for confirmation on what dates suit the other person, and then they'll be away there for 3-4 days. So the money that's already in Buy Me a Coffee, that'll give us a wee head start to that. But I reckon the trip, I was looking at it the other day, and it's going to be about, I think it was mentals, I think. I was trying to get a car. The rent a car really was a bit mental. It was about 300 quid. So it'll be probably about 1,200 to 1,500 quid. That'll be sort of roughly the costs for it. as I say, I'm about 300 or 400 quid in already. So that's what the buy my coffees are used for, folks. And I do appreciate. I can't believe that people watch my nonsense and go, "Can I give you some money?" I do get paid off YouTube. The adverts and that doesn't cost anybody. But now, there's other things. It's great that the memberships and stuff can buy me equipment, and these buy me coffees will allow me to go on even more trips to Berlin. Now we've got another caller in, who again, I think was on before, so we might be in for a bit of fun here. Base Patriot, how can we help you?
Oh, for God's sake, who let him up?
Can you hear me now?
No.
I hear you now.
Good.
You better start this the way everybody else starts it, or you're getting part out.
We have overcome my technical challenges and my intellectual poverty when it comes to working technology. But I saw a fabulous statistic tonight that I just wanted to share with you guys, and it came back to barber shops and why they're so prolific, right? And I'm doing some investigations in the background. It's not quite finished yet. But can you not hear me?
I hear you fine. Forget about him. Good. He's a libertarian. He's living in planet as usual.
Him and David Stark should probably hang a bit together. Anyway, one of the things I picked up on the Fountain of All Knowledge that is X, right? That I can't believe until I go for a haircut, right? But apparently, 85% of the world's refugees are Muslim. Right? 85% of the world's refugees are Muslim, but they never seek asylum in the 56 Muslim countries that are in the world. They only ever seek asylum in the non-Muslim countries. So I had heard this rumour that I'm still investigating, which I like to do in my spare time, as sad as I am, that, we've all seen the explosion in barber shops in the UK, and it came back to the caliphate that was the ISIS assembled state in Syria, Iraq, and I forget the other country. But obviously we all remember this because it was in the news, right? And there was tens of thousands of people going over there. It was sponsored by organisations like the Muslim Brotherhood and so on. And then it evaporated because the US and various coalition forces wiped out. But where did they all go? Where did all these fighting men go? Because they didn't all die in Syria and Iraq. Where did they all end up?
Britain.
That's my
here.
Right. That's my problem, Hoosty. Right. I can't figure out where they've all gone. Try to do the research. Try to do the numbers of barber shops, immigration figures, who's funding them. Because these are expensive seats and dinghies, right? You'd be cheaper getting around the world cruise than it would be to get a dinghy from Cali to the UK, if you believe the smash the gangs rhetoric they were hearing. But this to me is part of a wider concern, right? Why is nobody really tackling the root cause of this? Why is nobody really addressing this? Because frankly, I smell a rat, and if it smells like shite and it looks like shite, it probably is shite. So help me figure this one out.
I can possibly answer that.
So no, you come by your libertarian opinions.
No, listen. So the fact is that years ago, the same people who are behind the WEF, the Bilderbergers, and the political class signed treaties. Now these treaties are online. You'll be able to Google them. The first one was called the Barcelona Process. And then the second one was called the UN Compact in Marrakesh. And sorry, that was the third one. And then the second one in between those two was the Union of the Mediterranean. So what these treaties were to do was to give access and open door immigration to the Near East, where we would actually have the sort of Schengen agreement would be extended to the countries of the Near East, North Africa. This was in the Maghreb, and the actual refugee treaty was signed in Marrakesh by the Conservative Party. So there was always the door. It was always by the globalist political parties, which would include the Lib Lab Con Party, or the Nationalist Party, whether it be Sinn Féin, the SNP, or in Sinn Féin, SNP, or the Welsh Nationalists. Every one of them were shills for basically the globalists, and they were all on board the move for open borders, and that was to gain access to the markets as well.
Right, Gorilla.
So,
So I'm on this, right? Bear with me here, Craig, because I do want to dig a little bit deeper on this. So we've got the Barcelona process. What was the other two you mentioned?
the Union of the Mediterranean was the second one.
Union of the Mediterranean.
And the refugee thing on Marrakesh, which is Morocco.
Okay.
This was signed by the Conservative Party, bear in mind, but every one of the major political parties, whether it be the Lib Lab Con Party or any of the nationalists, including the Greens are about a bunch of morons. So, but they actually still fit into the WEF agenda by promoting green, the green agenda, which allows taxpayers' money to be stolen and put into green energy, which is probably not the most efficient.
Right. I'll come on to that in a minute, right? Because what I'm currently investigating is venture capitalist and investment firms influence across the World Economic Forum because of Larry Fink and so on, but also the Davos relationship between Tony Blair and his investment firm and stuff like
That's
that.
right. Well, so, Tony Blair was just a globalist as well.
Yeah, you know, and that's part of the problem as well, because his stench still permeates the halls of the Labour Party, frankly, right? Because the one that triggered this analysis that I like to do, because I do like to dig deep in some of this stuff when I have the time, is what did Larry Fink and Bill Gates talk about when they visited Downing Street just after the UK election and just prior to the UK budget, which saw inheritance tax skyrocket on farmers?
Well, apparently Larry Finks has bought up a substantial amount of British property through BlackRock.
Indeed.
Do you know he's now in the WEF? He's the governor of that now.
That's what triggered this analysis. So you know, full transparency, I don't do the analysis. I've got various AI agents and stuff like that that go away and through the internet and the policy definitions and various LinkedIn profiles that do all of this analysis for me, right? And basically what I've found already around some of this stuff is, you know, that the Davos and World Economic Forum is just a really scary. Apparently it brings together 3,000 leaders for 130 countries, with 350 of those are government leaders, including 60 heads of state. Right. So bearing in mind, this is a private party that elites only get invited to, and 60 of those are heads of state. And you can't tell me that the people who sit in these aren't touting for jobs, right? So when they leave government and they go somewhere else, they end up employed by a lot of these companies and stuff like that. And you can't tell me these aren't plain sycophants based on their political position to secure after politics types jobs, right?
No, I think you're not wrong. You're not wrong what you said, but I would think that what their agenda is to use taxpayers' money to set up whatever the cause is, and then the effect is to pour taxpayers' money at the solution. And so it doesn't matter if it's a green agenda, 15-minute cities. It doesn't matter what they've decided is the problem. The solution is to raise taxpayers, raise taxes, and to pay them through taxpayers' money.
Well, so here's the interesting part, right? So when you think about Al Gore, what's he famous for?
Sorry, say that again, buddy. You're breaking up.
Al Gore, what do you think he's famous for?
Who?
Al Gore. You never heard of
Al
him?
Gore. Al Gore. Well, he was the climate change. He was doing all the climate change. Although he had a villa on the actual beach, which didn't really make very much sense if you think the seas are going to rise.
The sea rises and stuff like that. But apparently he's invested 80 million quid in Octopus Energy and 600 million quid worldwide in renewable energy firms.
Cause and effect. That's what they do.
So he's on a global stage, an I don't know if he was Democrat or Republican, right? An ex-vice president, right, who's now globally promoting this stuff, which gets lapped up by the less intelligent people of our governments. You know, your John Swinney's, your Nicola Sturgeon's, and the various other people who say, well, you know, the writing's on the wall there. We should just sign up to that. They then spend the public money on the very investments that these guys have made. And it's just a global, an absolutely global snake oil tour. And we're trapped in this because we're the people who are paying for it. Right?
One way you could stop doing it is stop voting for political parties like the Lib Lab Con Party, like the SNP, like the Greens. That's the fun, and convince others to do it.
I'm proud to say I beat the Greens in the last election, the last general election, when I stood for reform.
Well done, mate.
So I'm
well
proud
done.
of that. Right, I trounced them in every single debate they ever had, and I trounced them.
What are you prouder of, mate? Beating Greens or standing for reform?
Beating the Greens, right? Hands down, right? It has to be beating the Greens, right? Because I left reform. Let's make no bones about it. But I'm happy to be affiliated with a better party now, right? That's making moves and changing.
Are you going to join the Libertarians?
Are they a band? I can't play the drums. I can't play the drums. So I could never be in the Libertines. Anyway, so there's loads of them, and I'll publish my research for anybody that's interested. I refuse to pay for a blue tick because the last time I did, and I slated reform, I get blacklisted by X. So I'm refusing to basically pay for my blue tick. But you'll find me on X if you're interested under Base Patriot. You can, and I'll publish my research there.
On X?
What was that?
What's your handle on X? What is your handle on X?
Base Patriot.
Do you know, I'm trying to get stuff up onto the screen to show you, right? My computer's just nuts, right? And something else I forgot when I was telling you the stuff that you guys help pay for with the memberships and stuff to get my equipment and stuff. Also, I pay for this platform that allows us to do the lives. That costs me whatever it does a month. I pay for another one called VidIQ, designing thumbnails and descriptions and keywords and all that stuff. That costs me money. And I've upgraded my internet for all singing or dancing. I spoke to any supplier that comes into this area, and they were all offering me the same speed, and that it's the up speed that's the problem for me, not the down speed that normal people do. So I found a company, Hypertronics. Hypertronics, and you're actually going to put a cable through next to my door in here, and it'll, even in the worst estimates, the one that they're telling me, it'll be like 50 times quicker, right? But even if it's that good and it's half of that good, it'll still be, even the worst case scenario, will be 20 times quicker. And hopefully, when I'm putting stuff up on the screens and all that, it will help me upload my videos 20 times quicker and all that. So I can't wait to get that. And then try and do stuff like show folk stuff on the screen. That'll be better.
I just saw on paper saying there about these people are getting brought out of these ISIS. Obviously, we wonder where all these ISIS ex-troops have been. The biggest concern you're going to need to watch is if Britain send troops into Europe, because that's going to leave us wide open. And if they send troops into Ukraine, right, which they're talking about actually putting boots on the ground to assist the Ukrainians, right, I think that's when we're going to really see the problems that we really have got going on in our country. Because all these people that stand at these hotels, Craig, you know it yourself, Biggie, right? We were up at Aberdeen, right? You seen Gino done an interview with that young lassie, and it's the same everywhere. You're hearing it. Every one of these hotels, there's no women and children. It's all men. All men. And there was a guy it works in a hotel in a place called Blackburn in Scotland, right? It's called the Cairn, right? Now, I don't know if Willie's still in the chat. He might put a comment in, right? But that again is another hotel. It's just all men. There's 3 hotels in that area now, all within a 2-mile radius. Do you know what I mean? And every hotel that I go out and I look at, it's just all men that's standing outside it. So I asked that question yesterday to Ian Falkirk when one of the gun platoon were standing with refugees welcome. And I asked him, I said, what makes the people in there a refugee? And I got the answer back with, they're fleeing countries that are war-torn. I says, well, where's the women and children then?
What France?
Do you know what I mean? They just won't answer that. Do you know what I mean? They're just, they're complete idiots.
Yeah, but I would go back to Kev, what I was talking about before, and the fact that this has been
Well, I
done
was
from
kind
the
of
top
talking there,
down.
but you
Oh
carry
no,
on.
sorry,
You're a
mate. Carry on.
libertarian. Do you know what I mean? Jesus, because he's a libertarian, he just thinks he gets to pipe in.
Kev, see when you're finished, let me give me a 3-second warning of you finishing, because I've got something I'm going to put up on the big screen. Right?
Hey, well, I'll just quickly finish on this one. But these people think they're standing at these protests and they're thinking they're doing the right thing, and they're actually doing the worst thing possible to this country. And honestly, any person that turns up on these protests and stands on the other side of the fence, you really need to look at yourselves, because you are traitors to this country. That's exactly what you are, because the people in that building and in the hotels are going to turn on you quicker than they're going to turn on us. Anyway,
well, here's the libertarians.
That's brilliant, awesome. They're awesome. That's the libertines, but they're awesome. Oh yeah, here we go. There's the boys there doing some libertarian shit. Oh, that's excellent. Brilliant. Look at them all libertarian all over the place. Fantastic.
You remember a party based on their tunes?
No, I'll tell you what is I personally think the most libertarian song is Paolo Nutini and Iron Sky.
Right.
I think that's the most libertarian song. I was listening the other night.
So,
Brilliant. Yes.
your house for a party. I need to listen to a speech by the libertarians and listen to Paolo Nutini.
Aye.
I'm
That's
leaving
what we do.
to Edinburgh, just in case I end up in your gaff.
Hey, cheeky, Houston. We'll give you a stuffed gorilla you can cuddle.
Aye, if I wasn't cheeky, you wouldn't recognise me. Right? Unbelievable. Right, I'm going to give you a wee 10-minute warning. So if you've not been up and you're sitting in the viewers going, I really would like to go up here and say something, go in. If you're in YouTube, it's in the description. If you're on X, I think it's in the title. If you're in Facebook, it's in the description. There's a link there. Click it and come in. And I'm going to suggest that we cut this off at 22:45, 10:45. So that'll give me enough time to get myself ready for my bed and hopefully reading the pillar for 11 o'clock.
And make sure everybody subscribes to the Gorilla TV channel on YouTube. I'm 22 off 2,000. So I'm looking for 22 subscribers.
Mate, give you a laugh, right? See the young boy that's the Marine that get popped out in the Marines?
Uh-huh.
Oh, John Carr, right? Wait,
John Carr.
I'm going to go get a laugh, right? Now, somebody came up and told us in the last live that he had a YouTube channel. He just started a new YouTube channel, right?
Uh-huh.
And we went on and we had a wee look. And at that time, he had, was it 42 subscribers?
Wow.
Yeah. It was 42. With 42, right? So I'm going to just show you. So I say to everybody, you need to go and like his thing. He's subscribed to him, right? See, 5 minutes later, we'd got him up, doubled it, didn't we, Kev?
Wow.
It was like 90 or 80.
Aye, DJ, you were there as well. There you go. He's now at 579. No, I'm not saying they're all, right? But it was mad. It was like, with that, I'm like, come on, but laugh. See, by the end of the night, if we can get him to double it, that'd be great, right? And it was
he's nearly monetising 1,000, isn't he?
Aye, and he was doubled it with it. In the next 5 minutes, we kept, it's a 79 already, right? It was magic. So there you go. That's
excellent.
Just so you know where to go, right?
John Carr, British Uprising, love it. I'll add them. Do my
You're going to get him onto this, Craig.
Where's the hairy libertarian?
Well, have you watched his speech?
You know my problem.
I've seen some of his speeches. He's quite sound, aye.
You're going to get him on here, Craig.
I said, mate, see the video they just put out, right? It was about 20 comments. We've just been sent to Craig to subscribe to you, right? And so these comments. and he reached and said thanks on Twitter, and I was like, mate, you need to come on and do a pod. And he's like, oh, I'd love that. So there's a friendly gorilla. That's where you have to go as well. And the last one I'm going to give you a punt to is there's young media chap that's been in all night, quiet as a mouse, but doing a stellar job. That's DGR Media. What'd you say, mate?
I'm editing the second part of the video just now.
Oh yeah, there's that boy there. That's Thor that we were talking about. That's him. It's him and his brother that are not allowed to go to protests now. He takes that jacket off. Honestly, he's ripped the boy. So there you go. There's DGR. He's got a lot of videos up. He started off doing a lot of sort of scenic, sort of drone stuff up in Aberdeen and surrounding areas. You can see there. Covering even at Aberdeen FC. You need to get them off, mate, and I'm going to need to stop pushing your channel. I need to get that one for the Aberdeen Stadium walking tour. That take up 3 minutes. And then, as you can see here, his channel changed a wee bit and started covering all the protests and stuff. So there's some good stuff there.
That tour as well, it tells you to bring your own duster.
And now that Kev's got his drone and he's got a good few videos with Nick Newton, his wee yellow bumblebee scooter, he should be getting. I keep telling him, go and get a YouTube channel.
I'm going to tie in with you with that one.
Do you know if that was Skype?
What? Sorry, mate?
I thought he said it pulled out of Sky today. No, yesterday.
I felt it was Sky yesterday because I didn't charge the batteries.
Well, Kev, see the one that DGR pointed me to and helped me get right? This one's dead clever. See if it gets out of range or it goes out of battery. Do you know it flies back to you?
Wow.
It's got an automatic return. So
also gives you a warning on the screen.
Right. So did you get yours back?
I mean, I'm going to back. I mean, look, I'm saying it dropped to the sky. Didn't he just drop what a brick? But what I done was, you've been to that hotel, Craig, right? So they wouldn't let me fly the drone to start because there was the police helicopters and that were up. And then later on, the helicopter was away. So I wanted to try and get an aerial view of the crowd. So I went back out and I spoke to the police liaison officer. And I said to him, I says, look, the helicopter's away, can I put my drone up? And he says, well, you can't put it up here, but you can go out to the car park and you can do it in as long as you don't fly on the top of the crowd.
Yeah,
and he's like, have you got a license? And I said, I am Captain Kev. You know what I mean? So he didn't find that funny. So I had my operator ID and flyer ID on my phone anyway, so I showed him it, and then so what I done was I went there, and I got it up in the air, and I was kind of playing about, and I got a couple of decent shots, but then the next minute, you just see the thing just starting to come down. I'm trying to push up, and the thing when they go up, man, it just kept coming down and down and down and down. I was like, fuck, that's it, it's done. So I went and put another battery in, did they work? Put another battery in, did they work? So when I get home, I put all 3 batteries on to charge, so the thing's on charge now.
But man, what you've been using all the batteries on? I was going to say that. Is that a flashlight you've been using them on?
What's that?
Sorry, mate. Sorry, never mind.
I know. I couldn't hear you because your IT's push.
Remember the big square batteries you got that were about that size, and you it was like for Skeletrics or train sets. You used to get them for them hanging up. That's what you've got for yours.
No, look, it's brand new, and I should have known to charge the batteries, right? So.
It's kind of like you kind of need a battery. The whole thing will work. It's reliant on the thing actually being able to fly. Right?
What
they should
get, they had the robot wars, and they should get drone wars where they crash into each other.
Me versus Kev.
What?
Me versus Kev.
Yeah, you versus Kev. That'd be great.
Oh, I doubt fly you.
I'd paint mine red, white, and blue for that.
There we go. We could televise it.
Have you taped your operator ID onto your drone?
No.
That's kind of, you need to do that or you're breaking a law, you maniac. You've done the same test as me, right?
I must probably got that question wrong.
The operator ID
you got right.
To the drone for it to be legal.
You need to put the number, your GBR number on it, or you're breaking a law number. If the copper had asked you, could have took it off you, because you're meant to have it on display.
Aye, you can't cover it up with tape.
There's two things you need to do, folks, right? One of them costs you a tenner, and it's a gimme. You just put your details on it, right? And the other one you do is a test, right? You need to pass the test. Kev passed the test, and doesn't know you need to put ID on it.
Aye, it's a GBR OP one you need to tape onto the drone. You don't need to do that. It starts
license one.
GBR OP is that one you have to write it down and put it onto the drone.
Well, the operator ID then.
Right, the operator ID, you have to put that onto the drone.
Aye, but I'm still waiting for all that stuff to get sent out to me anyway.
Oh, you get an email. As soon as you buy it, they give you the number. See the one you pay for, not the one that you test, right? See the operator one. That number, you need to put that on your drone.
Aye, well, I mean, I've got that there, but I mean, I'm waiting for all the stuff to get sent out to us, and then so I'll do it when I
get sent out to you.
Aye, you do. You get your license that sent out to you.
No, you don't.
Well, I got to help my kids will be in the post.
You don't.
You got a special test.
Yeah, I don't know. You can buy a card and stuff, but you don't actually need it. It's just a digital number they give you.
Okay,
can you use yours?
Oh no, I'm not giving him mine if he's crashed drones. Like I'm not.
Oh, come here! They had one here, right? I had the drone flying perfectly. I had it banking left. I had it banking right. I just had the bus here, right? I made a rookie mistake and I had to charge the batteries, right? I've done that. I've learned my lesson.
It crashed into my head. It crashed into my head when you never.
It was nowhere near your head. I was nowhere near the crowd.
Look, did you see that?
What's that?
Fully charged, 3 of them, ready to go.
Aye, all right.
Well, you're away to a protest, not even get one charged.
Look, I done my duty.
What's the 3 P's, Craig? Is it preparation prevents poor performance?
Yes.
5 P's in it. Okay. Numerically.
Well, I tell you what, you talking about piss poor performance with a mic like that.
Performance.
Okay, I thought that was a robot talking there for a minute. You're talking about piss performance. You're an IT specialist, Steve.
That's only because your batteries are far too drained. Only devices you've got kicking about the house. Some furry ones, some fleshy ones.
Big furry batteries.
I have published a website on my X chat which covers some of the investments and some of the benefits that the UK politicians have received in result of some questionable affiliations. So people like George Osborne, David Cameron, various other ones, I've stuck it on there. I'm currently updating some other analysis that's been done. So if anybody's interested in the Davos connection with political influence, have a look at my X feed, click on the link. It's generated by Manus, which does my AI sort of investigation, and I've basically done this while we've been chatting because I am also curious about it. So let's see. Hold on, I've got another one. Got an updated website here.
And
let me stick this.
There's your man's X up on the big screen now. There he's up the Jumbotron. Made him famous.
Infamous Merlin.
Right, well that is 22.46 and I said I was getting in a pit at 22.45, so I'm into overtime here. What I would just like to see, I'm just going to look at the numbers now. We had more watching on X than GB News, which is a bit nuts. But that's down to Basil, because Basil's got like 100,000.
Wow.
And along with the for 5 minutes, he always leaves his stream open. So we've got just under 4,000 have watched over the course of the night on YouTube, so that's 4,000. and let's have a wee look. On Basil's X 2,600, so that's 6,600. On my
I've
X
got 6 in mine.
600, so that has 6,600. Hold on, where was that? 600. What is that? 7,200. I can't think it's mental money. Aye, so we'll get 7,000. Watch this over the course of the night. Your dulcet tones. Did you click your YouTube channel to it, Gorilla?
What? Say that again?
You linked your YouTube channel when you came in, didn't
you? No, I don't think so. Where is it? Which one?
It's shown on your YouTube.
Oh, aye, it's up in my channel, mate. Aye. So it's live streaming off that.
There's a Gorilla.
He's got. You do realise he's got to try and take the credit for all the numbers here.
It's my mass numbers.
All my baby I'm happy gorillas. With it.
So the Libertarians.
Yeah, so I can see the numbers. So the Libertarians. Guys, like, shit, I thought it was the Libertines we were watching.
That was just 6 of them. Oh, brilliant.
That's great.
I don't know how you liked it, but I liked it.
DJ helping. Liked what?
Liked it to the.
When you sign in, it gives you the option of linking to your own socials. Aye, so it's great. I keep saying to everybody that's coming up, go and tick it out because you never know, you may get some extra subscriber or something to it. So you may as well abuse the opportunity while it's there.
Aye, I just want to say thanks to John Craig for giving us a shout out today on X. So I got a few more subscribers. And to Stevie.
You need to be a bit louder than that because he's not here.
Aye. Well, he'll hopefully echo
in
the future.
He left about an hour ago.
Aye. It's Sunday night, man. He's away to put his face mask in that on the night.
Him and Sean went away to watch Superman and Sean. He's left very, very quickly.
They're away to put face masks on together.
Aye. So Stevie, DJR, you have been most quiet tonight, so what do you want to say before we finish up that you want to add on?
Well, let you go first.
Don't know. Man, a few words.
Yeah, mate, but you're doing a sterling work there. I hope you've pulled a few more, what do you call it, subscribers.
I guess the latest Aberdeen video has been posted, fully out now. Includes the speech for John Carr.
All right, that's the guy we were just talking about there, the ex-Marine chappie. So, that's Gorilla. Why is it not getting me? I don't want Gorilla. Oh, come on. I hate this. It's so slow. I can't wait till Wednesday and I get my new super duper speedy thing. Right, so DJR Media. And video. What's the last one you get up? Is that the one that went 4 years ago? Is that it?
Yeah, it'll be that one. Near the end though, because it leads into part 2.
I'll just stick that up there. No. Oh, what's it? That's nonsense. Share this tab instead. And that'll be a wee teaser to what you can watch if you jump over to DJR Media. Did you get some interviews as well at that one?
I'd one or two people come up, but there was a guy I missed, and I'm quite annoyed I missed him, because he had actually an incident happen with his own daughter, and I was looking for him after all the speeches happened. I told him I was going to speak to him, but I couldn't find him, and I think that would have been a good interview to get.
Superb. Well, it would have been. You see that there that we're looking at just now? Is that the hotel to the left there with the salt cellars hanging at it?
Yeah. And it's quite interesting that because that's happened at the Aberdeen one as well, where they've hanged them outside the windows. So I don't know if they're maybe being told to do that or something, but yeah, it's.
Of course, they're getting told to.
Wanting that sense.
Is your dog sitting in your phone, Kev?
What's that?
Is your dog sitting in your phone?
Well, she was at the back of me there for a minute.
The sound was going a bit weird. Okay, right, Stevie, which for you this week?
Just the same again. Obviously, the Aberdeen, can't plug that enough, but it's typical. This is the second time we've done when Alex has been on and he's disappeared. But next time he's coming on, tell him. But I don't know if you've heard, but I wanted to ask you, because you guys will probably know more than us. What happens if you stick your middle finger up at a counter-protester? Is that an arrestable offence?
God knows in this day and age.
Because
probably.
Well, I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll tell you off air.
Yes.
But as we were walking in, a couple of us threw up a middle finger. I think I said a lot worse, but so she was grabbed by a police officer. It says, I can arrest you just now, but I will be checking the body cam footage, reviewing it, and then coming to see you. So we don't know if it was just or if this is actually going to happen.
Who did they say that to?
I'll tell you off air.
Did you say it was a she? That's a bit mental, mate. That's nuts. Possibly. I mean,
sorry, let go.
Laws are very strange things that it's all down to interpretation. I mean, now apparently, if you tell folk you're going to slit their throat, it's not a criminal offence any longer. The man is not guilty for doing it that the whole nation had witnessed, or anybody had seen the video had witnessed. It was getting bonkers, mate. But listen, Sandra Scott, you've been following the channel for longer than most people. I recognise the names, so thanks very much for your support and your super sticker there. That's most generous of you. Thank you very much. That's a bit of a worry, Stevie. So I'm just going to wrap it up now and play out with a wee trailer as we're leaving. But once that's done, we'll still be in the room, Stevie, and we can have a wee blather about that. That's a bit scary. Right, folks. So listen, thanks very much. Everybody that watched, everybody that took it that step further and came into the studio, and to my guests sort of co-hosting me tonight, they've kept me company for the nearly 3 years. It's been a great one. I've really enjoyed it, and there's been a lot of good chat. So thank you, everybody. And unless you are the type of crackpot that turns up at counter protests, which are about, saving the safety of our children and our women and things like that, then no you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.